Hello, Blake Hart here. I wanted to come back and do a little bit more with the Maschine expansion Anima Ascent. I feel like I failed it a little bit the other day, and there's just so much great guitar stuff in there, and I've had a lot of questions actually about deCoda as well, which is a program I've brought up here and there, so I wanted to devote some more time to that particular piece of software and talk a little bit more about how I'm using it. So I'm right here in Ableton now. I had pulled a guitar sample from Anima Ascent in here. So just so you know, in Ableton, if you right click on the sample, it's going to give you an option to show in Finder. And so you can click and show in Finder, and so I can find out that this is where that sample is. And this is a sample that I used. And like I said, the guitar samples are really nice in Anima Ascent. In particular, there's a lot of great content in there, but I do like the guitar samples a lot. So if you want to see the video I made on that particular expansion, you can click up there on that card and go check it out and see some more as I go through the sounds and all of that. So right here, in terms of what I created, let's listen. On the guitar loop, here I put Looperator on, so it's messing it up a little bit, and then I also put speakerphone on, which is, I picked out several sounds in here to make it sound like those types of things. So this little cassette player, and added in some other stuff like the Leslie, the gramophone. So I'll take it off and you'll hear what it sounds like. So this gives it that vintage vibe. All right, so cool. So I just wanted you to sort of see how I used one of these samples and coming up with something. So what I did in terms of figuring out like what the chords are for this particular guitar lick, because I needed to put chords to them because I've got these chords up here. Actually, let me solo this with it. Turn down low. So the question would be like, how did I know what chords were going to go with this particular sample without like just trying like going at it blindly? So it tells me that, you know, it's A sharp minor, but like, what does that really mean? Yeah, like what does that mean? Where am I gonna be able to fit this into a song, and really work with it quickly, right? For somebody like me who I can't go to a piano key and be like, okay, what note are they playing here? What note are they playing there? And figure it that way. And so what I've done is I've been utilizing the software called deCoda. The link is below. You can get it on Plugin Boutique. And I heard about this software through MG the Future, who was talking about it and showing how he was using it. So I just want to be totally transparent in that, you know, this piece of software is pretty robust. Okay, it's like $59. I'm using it to figure out notes, but there's other parts of the software that you can dig down into actual like MIDI and extract MIDI as well. So I definitely recommend hitting that link below, going to the listing and description for the software and seeing some of the other videos of how you can use this software, because you may find that, you know, you don't have something like Melodyne, you're not using something like Ableton, and having a piece of software even to extract some MIDI data is really cool too. But let me show you how I use it for chords, because that's what I was talking about. So, whoops, that's the wrong thing. Here we go. So here's the guitar sample. You can, I think I just said right click there, show in Finder, and then I'm just gonna drag it in here, and here is my sample. So let's take a listen. And so it's showing me the notes here. All right, so with this information, I ended up pulling out Captain Chords. So let's open up Captain Chords and take a look there. Whoop. And so in Captain Chords, I was like, okay, it's telling me I'm in E major deCoda, so let me figure out the notes and figure out what chords are going to go with this, okay? So let's take again, we'll go back to deCoda, take a look there, E major, E, A, C sharp minor. E, A, C sharp minor. But then it just needed some closure, so I was trying to like find another chord that would work, so I put in this B sus2. I've struggled with that a little bit, because I'm like, I don't know how it sounds, but here you can take a listen. And so after I get the chords together, I basically just move this track to the bottom and just keep it, right? So now that we've gone through all that information, let's take a listen to this again. And I'll just solo these out. Yep. And so pretty fun, right? And then when I went in, I actually, did I use Maschine for this? Yeah, so I was able even to use an instance in Maschine in here, in which I laid down these 80s keys things here. And I think I used, did I use complete control? I used complete control in here too. Which is sort of fun, right? And I'm going to work through that a little bit more and show a little bit more of using Ableton, because I've been having fun doing that lately. So let me hop out of this, and what I'm going to do is we're going to do this process again and maybe come up with something cool and maybe not. So I'm going to hop into Maschine and we'll do this process. So I'm going to close out of that. I can leave deCoda open. Let's hop into Anima Ascent here. I'm going to hop into where the loops are. And within there, we're going to click Anima Ascent. And let's hop straight into where the guitar stuff is. So that's the loop I had used. Obviously, I was a lot slower in the project I just showed you. So I was at 87. Right now I have this set at 120. So let's move that down a little lower too. So just trying to find something I want to use. I like this one. All right. So let's take this, and I'm going to right click on it. Actually, let me start it. Right click on it, find in Finder. And there it is. So I'm going to open up deCoda, and all I have to do is just drag it in here. And let's see what it says. C major. So it was marked as C, so that's good. All right, so let's try to work with this. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to pull this into here. So I've got that. Then I'm going to open up Captain Chords, and get that going. And Captain Chords. So let's open that up. I don't know why my mouth isn't cooperating with me today. The mouse, I can't talk. My mouth and my mouth are not cooperating. All right, so we'll set it up for C major, right? That's what we were, it was telling us that we were in, and it was saying it was a C major scale and that key, and then A minor, E minor, F, C. A minor, E minor, E minor, F, C. So let's see how this sounds together. Perfect, right? Awesome. So let's label some things here since we're starting and we want to stay organized. Call this guitar sample. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up something else in here that I can put these chords onto. So I'm going to pick another instrument. What would we like to use? Maybe I'll just pick just a piano. So just go with a piano. We'll open up Keyscape. And I don't know, I'll just pick this indie piano. And I need to drag my chords into that instrument. So first, I'm gonna, this is what you guys all tell me about, and I just was using Live, so I was used to dragging it into Live, so I forgot. But one of the things a lot of people say is some of my earlier videos, like you go to try to drag this into your piano roll and it doesn't work. And I'm like, what the heck? I don't know what happened at some version of the software update. It says drag this clip into your DAW, but you can't drag it into Maschine. So all you have to do is just drag it to your desktop, and from there, you don't have to drag it into your piano roll of Captain Chords. Just drag it to the instrument that you're dragging it into. Okay, so here we are. And then you just keep building from here. So I know it's in C major, so it can pull in another instrument. Maybe we want to pull in something from that was in Anima Ascent. So we'll go into, let's go look into, they had some stuff in Prism, right? So let's actually open Prism. And this is, make sure that we're in Anima Ascent. Because I remember I liked this one. So let's load that up and see what that sounds like here. And make sure we're in C major. I just want this to sit in the back, because I mean that's where that instrument is. I'm actually going to pan it. Pan that a little. Alright, keep that back there. That's sort of like a background thing. Well, a background lead. I'm not really sure what to call it. But let's see how this comes together here. I originally thought like maybe I would find that as my lead instrument, but it wasn't going to work. I wasn't feeling it. So let's see what else we can come up with in here. We'll go to Massive, see what some of the presets there were. So this says it's a pad. Let's see what that sounds like though. I like that. Alright, again, a little bit off because that's how I roll, but easy to fix. So let's see. I like that. I don't even know, what is that? It feels like somebody whistling or something. All right. So let's find something else, because again, that wasn't like our lead that we were looking for either. What's that sound there? Let's give it a whirl. Yeah. It's definitely out there. I'm not sure if that's the one. Let's see what this is. See about that. So, something about this where the timing felt like a little bit late to me. So let's see if I can fix that. It just felt like a little bit off to me. Like I wanted it to sound different. But not that. Because I put the note in the wrong place. And yeah, just... Alright, I think I'm feeling that there. So let's call that, because that's more like a lead, right? We have the guitar going on, but then we also now have that going on, and it's definitely too loud. So let's turn that down. I mean, I've been really... Alright, so we're building these layers of sound here. And so what we also need to finish this out, we obviously need a bass, and we are going to need some drums. So let me turn this on. And one of the cool things, I had used Captain Chords, right? So I can actually load up Captain Deep. And with Captain Deep, I can easily, quickly come up with a I'm on sound. I can easily come up with a bass line. So let's go in here and pick Captain Deep and see what we can work with here. So open it up, say connect, and see what we have. Play around. Or you can pick something a little more complex over here. Opposite movement. I mean, there's a bunch of different things we can choose to do. Going to keep that one. So from here, I'm going to label this Captain Deep, and like we did before, I'm going to take this MIDI, I'm going to drag it to my desktop. It's going to replace the other one. You don't need to keep this once you put it in, so it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to my bass, I'm going to go to my piano roll, and I'm going to pull this into my panel roll, and there you have your bass. But we need to pick a bass because we don't have a bass. So let's see what's over here. I'd like this one, so let's try it. And so this is way too low. So I'm going to move it up an octave. If you're on a phone, you probably can't hear it. It's a really low sub bass. I'm curious what... I'm actually going to try this one. Let's replace it with this one. Alright, so after this, we need to figure out some drums. And we'll go play over again, use Anima Ascent, and hear what we got going on over there. I'm going to start at the bottom. Oops. Sounds the same guitar sample. Let's load that up, see what we got going on there. So that's in 140, and I didn't create this song in halftime, so I'll give you a listen so you can see what it sounds like. So to me, that's not my vibe. So let's get something else in here. So that's 110. I want something a little slower. I want to find something that is natively, organically in the 80 to 90 area. And there are some in here. Just gotta find them. I sound like I'm lying, but they are in here. So let's take these out of here. So this works. The other thing that we can do is, as I was saying, like the guitar sample sounds very much just like we pulled it out of there. So maybe we want to do something a little different with it. You could pull it into sampler, into, Machine's native sampler or Serato, and you could play around with it more, chop it up, move it around. Or you could also use effects on it. That's another solution if you want to make it your own, make it different. So I had used Looperator by Sugar Bytes before, and I don't know if you're not familiar with that. It basically has a randomizer, and it messes up your sound a little bit. So let's solo this out and take a listen. Now you can get rid of some of this crazy stuff, like there was a tape stop at the end, there's all these other things going on. I mean, you can make it your own. You can manually go in and make your own. Decide what you want, change up the sound. Tells you what each is doing, loop, envelope, filter. Up here there's some pre-default things. It can really totally change things. And it's all up to you. It's like how crazy you want to make it. And then down here you can hit this randomizer, and then you can choose how wet or dry you want it. I mean, these are all crazy examples, right? That's interesting. So it changes the sound, but not too much. And let's put that back in with everything else. Sorry, that's a little too loud up there. Turn it down. So I can hear this becoming into something else, like adding more to it, right? You know, I didn't use any effects throughout here, so adding a little color to each instrument, add more dimension. You know, there's a lot obviously that would still need to be done to this to make it a great song, but I like it. I can picture arranging it. I can picture the journey it's taking me on. I like the drum patterns. I don't know if I'm so sure about this actual kit, so I'd probably change that up a little bit. But overall, I feel like, you know, in this video, I was able to create a song that I could imagine writing lyrics to or singing to and being moved by, all off of this guitar sample. So hopefully that shows you a little bit more about how I'm using deCoda. Again, like I said, there's a lot more functionality here in terms of digging it apart. And I see there, once you, I mean, you can really like get more granular into these notes and what they are, and really play around with things. And I haven't been using it for that, so definitely think go check out the videos, see how that might fit in your workflow too. But it's pretty powerful. It really, the intent behind it apparently was for people who play guitar, play instruments, to be able to put a song in and quickly dissect it so that they too could be able to play it. And so you can take pieces of this song out. Like I just have a guitar loop here, but like let's say it was a full song and you just wanted to hear the lead part. And the reason I say it works like Melodyne in the sense that you're able to take out some of those frequencies so that you could hear just the lead part or just the drum part. So pretty cool, pretty powerful, and I'm just using a tiny little part of it. But I hope today's video was helpful. Definitely check out Anima Ascent. It's a really neat expansion. There's a lot of cool sounds in there. Did a great job with it. It's a lot of fun playing around with. And deCoda, the link for deCoda is below. It's tough, right? Like all these tools, they cost money, but I feel like deCoda at the end of the day is an investment that makes sense because you're going to use it. Like you totally will use it. It's not going to be one of those VSTs you buy like for like some different spin on reverb and use it once and never use it again. So yeah, totally something cool to have. Hope this was helpful. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys again soon.